Alright, one of the things I wanted to do for you, and I wanted you to see, is in Chapter 2, one of the very first assignments that students always seem to have a difficulty with is the, on page 60, it's number 3, exercise 3. It says create a band application that displays the members of a selected band, including at least 3 or 4 of your favorite bands. The interface should look similar to this. Now, what you have to remember as I go through and I'm having you do this, the correct band members don't make any difference to me at all. You could make it with zucchini on drums. I don't care. What I'm more interested in having you do is kind of working with a group box, kind of working with the radio buttons, because you won't really have an opportunity to do this again, and then showing you how they work over here on the right hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together the radio buttons, and I'm going to code 1 radio button so you can kind of see how it works, maybe 2, so you get a feel for it, so when you're making your project you're not quite as lost. It seems to be a point of contention that most students have during the first semester of computer programming. So what I've done is I've drawn up the textbook so you can kind of look at that. And behind here, of course, this is the actual interface. So I want to do new project. And I'm going to choose my Windows Form app again. It's going to be called Windows App 1. I don't care. You have to make sure that you go with the naming conventions. So it's 2-1, or in our case it would be 2-3, Chapter 2, number 3. All right, so here's my form. I'm going to go ahead and expand that out a bit. I want to go ahead and find a group box. So here's my group box. I'm going to put my group box on it. And I'm labeling these very generically. So I'm going to put a radio button on here. And I'm going to call this Band 1. So the text that says Radio Button 1, I'm just going to call it Band 1. If you're doing Room 5, you can call it Room 5, whatever. So that's Band 1. And then since it's a radio button, I'm going to go up to the name of it, and I'm going to call this RAD Band 1 to keep it consistent. Once again, its name is somewhat consistent of the data that it's going to contain. Now I'm going to make a second radio button. Now in the program itself, it makes you make a few radio buttons, but in our case, I'm just going to do 2, so you have an idea. So I'm going to call this RAD Band 2, right? So radio button Band 2, and I scroll down, and I'm going to, the text itself is going to be Band 2. So I've got that information there, right? Good, outstanding. Then I'm going to go ahead and make sure they're aligned, good. And then I want to actually add a label. I'm going to add a label over here, and it's going to make it small, which is fine. The text is I'm going to say band list. And that'll be replaced by the information of the bands themselves. And the label will be LPL band members. Alright, now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go behind Band 1. So I'm going to go to the code behind Band 1. Notice I put it in a group box. Put Band 1 and Band 2 in the group box so both of them are associated with one another. Then, once again, I have to remember the label is LBL band members. Okay, so I'm going to go behind Band 1. And then, this is the on-click procedure. It's going to be me.lbl band members. Okay, dot text equals, and then I'm going to put in singer, right? Singer as an example, member 1. You can come up with any members you want, that's fine. Then I get M quote, and that gives me a string letter, literal. Then I'm going to do and VBCRLF, okay, which stands for Visual Basic Carriage Return Line Feed. So the old typewriters that at their end, and used to go ding. What that is, that was considered a carriage. It was called a carriage, and it still is. So that's kind of a throwback to that idea. It's a Visual Basic Carriage Return Line Feed, so it goes down to the next line in the label itself. So I'm actually going to do 2 of those. So there's a line between each particular band member, and I'm going to do and. Notice I'm using the ampersand, so it's concatenating all, and it's a term, concatenating is pushing all the string values together. So I'm going to do drums and member2 as an example. And then and VBCR LF LF and VBCR LF and I'm going to do base. This one's going to do. Now notice I'm putting quotes around the things that I wanted to actually display. So whatever's in the quotes, it's going to actually display. So I'm going to call this member3 as an example. Okay. So there's my first band, right? So now I'm going to copy all this to make it really easy. So that has 3 members. Copy it. I'm going to copy it. So now I'm going to go back to my form, and I'm going to double click on band 2. Notice this is rad band 1, this is rad band 2. So we can tell the difference between the two. I just copied the same code. I'm going to put member 4, member 5, and member 6, so we can differentiate between the two. Since it's a label, when I put information in the text, you'll notice where it says me.lblbandmembers.text equals blah, 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 blah. What I'm doing is I'm putting the information in the text property, so it's going to replace that information. So right up here where it says me.lblbandmembers.text singer member 1, each time I click on a different radio button, it's going to replace all those values with the actual name of those particular members. So I just use default names 1, 2, 3, but you'll be able to kind of see the difference and get a feel for the flow of it. Additionally, what I'm going to add in, it's not in your code at all or in your requirements at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a button. I'm going to put a button like down here, right? And I'm just going to call this button. The text is going to be end, right? And the name itself is going to be btn end. And let me go put the code behind it. Notice there's a button event procedure. I'm going to call it end, which is going to end the program. So I've done it. I've created it. It's a fairly basic program. People usually spend, I would say some people spend a week on this. Don't want you to spend a week on this. So here we go. So I'm going to run it. Very exciting. And I'm going to take this. Now notice, since it's in a group box, it automatically selected the first one. So I've got singer, drums, bass, member 1, member 2, member 3. And you'll notice also Visual Basic character turn line feed. There's 1 line feed and there's 2. So Visual Basic, Visual Basic character turn line feed, it goes down. So now if I'm looking right here, so there's singer member 1, Visual Basic character turn line feed, Visual Basic character turn line feed goes down here. Then I do it again, so it goes down here. Then drums member 2, and then Visual Basic character turn line feed here. Then Visual Basic character turn line feed here. And then now I don't need a Visual Basic character turn line feed at the end because of the fact that it's the end. But now let's click the other one, right? Oh, that's magical. Do you see? It changed it to 4, 5, and 6. Boom. 1, 2, and 3. Now it looks like it's just changed the numbers, but what it is, it's actually changing the contents of the label so you can see the difference. And you have band 2, and then I do band 1. So it has all that information there, and you're able to see it, you're able to look at it, and you can kind of tell the difference between the two. There's another one that says VB tab, and that'll come into play later on, another command called VB tab. And what that does is that puts a tab in wherever you're placing it, and it works kind of the same way. Putting a line return here, you can put a tab in the other one. And of course the end, it ends the program. Nice. So what I could do then if I wanted to, get full points for this project, if you don't worry about comments, you don't need full points. But if you did want full points, you could put in there, this adds the 3 band members to the label, right? Yeah. Okay. It's not, you don't have to comment every line of code, but just a general idea, that's great. It kind of gets you in the habit. This adds the 3 band members to the label. Oh yeah, see, that's exciting. I'm overwhelmed. So, and then of course the end. This ends the program. Yeah. Many years of college went in for my ability to write that. So anyway, so if you have any particular questions, once again, you can talk to your sub, or you can post it on the resources and ask some questions. But I want to make sure that you get some of these concepts, because when I get back, I'll have the expectation that you will know the concepts or ask me questions because you don't. So if you have any further questions, please use your resources or use your sub, or we'll get it solved one way or another. So there you go. If you have any questions, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Once again, this is video 3 in the series that kind of talks about exercise 3, which many individuals have a problem with. Thanks.